This is New York City Charizards, continuing analysis of the UBL draft presented by the Pokemon Battle and Trade community. Now we're looking at week 6, which I'm still reeling from after a unfortunate defeat against the Washington Wartortles. Now I'm facing one of the top contenders in the league, and looking at his draft, I'm already on edge. I say that I'll probably say that a bunch of times, but I mean, I've played against a bunch of these in monotype, so I personally know what a lot of them are capable of, and seeing them together is just it's a new experience. But it's not something I can't handle, but it's something I definitely wasn't expecting to be as difficult as it was, especially since this Megalopony has been the top killer so far in the first 5 weeks. It's gotten him a tremendous lead, and I think he'd only lost one game before this one, so I'm already worried. This time I swapped out Fortress for a different type of wall, Regice, whose physical bulk is something to be desired, but his special bulk is exceptional, and I believe I prepared it so I can take on his Blacephalon, the UB Burst. We'll probably just call it Burst just for ease of use. Now, this UB Burst scares me a bit because it could be Scarf, it could be Specs, it could be Sash, and something that could definitely deal damage. Its ridiculously high special attack makes it worrisome. Zapdos surprised me in this game, and I'll get to that when the game begins. But Zapdos, good electric flying, trying to give him to give him some bulk. Gligar, it doesn't have the poison heal like Gliscor, but still is some kind of trouble. Megalopony, once it gets to the speed, it has the ability Scrappy, so it can use normal and fighting attacks against ghosts. Even though I don't have any, that means I can't really avoid this that easily. But we'll get back. Blastoise. Normal Blastoise is a bit irregular these days, but I think he had some use for it. But we'll see as the game goes on. And then Mean Xiao, a fighting mon with Regenerator. So before I had fought Phil with 2 defensive Regenerator mons. Now he's going for a more aggressive Regenerator. And of course I've got my Lando, Kartana, Suicune, Charizard, my guy Rabambi. But let's see how this one went. This one was a close one, if I recall correctly. I'm opening with Lando. He's opening with Zapdos. The reason I'm opening with Lando because I don't want his Megalopony or Mean Xiao to gain advantage. Both can use Fake Out, which to deal a quick hit early on, and then Mean Xiao can use U-Turn, which is also troubling because combined with Regenerator makes it very problematic. Plus Megalopony, I just wanted to deter it ASAP. So here we go. This I don't expect, and I feel my heart sinking. I remember feeling my heart sinking when this game started, because that Hidden Power Ice at full power and special attack as full speed and special attack invest, it just cleaned my biggest gun in less than 10 minutes. Now my game against the physical Amons are going to be something of a nightmare. So let's see how I respond. I go to Megazard. I Dragon Dance to try and get some edge. He Thunderbolts me. I expected Discharge. I don't know why. I go for the Double Dance, thinking maybe I can clean something off the board. I feared the Toxic, but at that point I had lost my big gun. So Lando. So I'm thinking maybe I should try and end the game. Try and put him on the defensive as soon as humanly possible. And let's see how I did that. I went for the Dragon Claw because he had nothing that can block a dragon, which is good. He uses Haze, and that really gets me. Because now I lose my sweeping ability. I thought maybe he'll Haze again, but nope. He clicks Toxic. And this Blastoise Toxic tactic is something that another guy used in a later week, which is going to be troubling. He goes for the Protect, slows me down further. Maybe I should have Dragon Dance. Maybe I should have seen this coming, but depends. I should really make a note that most mons that with Toxic are probably going to use Protect to stall me out. So achieving exactly that. I go for Dragon Claw, get rid of him. By that point, Blastoise did its work from beyond the grave. Me and Xiao's probably going to go for the Fake Out, so I get Charizard the hell out of there, just to slow him down. Now, I don't think he throws another Takemon, else that'd be absurd. He goes to Zapdos, because to check the obvious, water threat, but I get it behind a substitute, learning from my mistake in the previous game. What does he do next? He throws Thunderbolt, breaks the sub. I go for Calm Mind, try to build the bulk, but ultimately I underestimated the Zapdos side big time because he went full special attack. This is I found out after the fact, and that really hurt. Now I throw a Toxic, which did some work, but it might be too late at this point. Now I use Regice. I go, nice. With its special bulk, can take hits. He'll go U-turn to get out of there, and I don't know why I didn't just use Ice Beam. I probably was aiming for either his Blacephalon or just anything in general, but I should have just went with my gut and went with Ice Beam. That's what most likely I feared this thing coming in and then using its outrageously high special attack to end me. So I get out of there because Charizard has already got like 1 foot in the grave. The Toxic will probably kill it. He'll go U-turn. He's already outpacing me, and I'm flustered. He goes to Gligar, and I go into Regice. Gligar, I think, is more support at this point. Now I learn from my mistakes, and I fire an Ice Beam. Good, better late than never, I say. But at this point, now Regice is kind of a sitting duck. Unfortunately, none of the Reggies can survive a high jump kick, except maybe Regirock, but that's kind of a stretch. Now I'm firing back, because I know his speed is 339, mine is 348 plus Scarf, so Cortana goes for the Psycho Cut, because he has nothing that can dodge the Psycho Cut. Now, his Toxic will weaken him a bit. I believe he might have had Heat Wave, so I got out of there quickly. I was right. Zapdos carrying Heat Wave to break those Steel threats, and if that Heat Wave would end, we'd be telling a completely different story. Zapdos recovers, I recover. He'll probably fire a Thunderbolt, but by that point, I'm still chipping away at this thing. Now, it's chipped enough that I can kill anything he has, except maybe Blacephalon, with Psycho Cut. And now Psycho Cut brings up my power a bit. Lopunny's up. He doesn't go Mega in this turn, and when I think back on that, that was a really smart move he made, because if he had gone for his Mega and tried to chip away at this thing, he would have had to deal with Scarf, and then I would have had him dead to rights. But he made the smart move, and then he throws the Fire Punch I anticipated him to have, and it does a tremendous amount of damage. That 8%, if it did any more than that, I would have lost for sure. I go for the Psycho Cut. I take out Lopunny, so no Mega for him. Oh, and Josh apparently joined the game at that point. That's cool. Hey, Josh. So, I get Beast Boost up. He's probably going to go... I anticipate the Fake Out, because he wants to weaken this thing. It has good physical bulk, but I need him to live. So, Ribombee goes in, as I suspected the Fake Out. But this time, unlike my first battle with Ryan, I didn't go modest this time. I wanted to make sure that I outpaced him, and so I did. And now this next point is going to be critical, because it lets me... I had forgotten if it modest, it was faster than Blacephalon, and I didn't want to take that chance, so I went Timid. And this move is going to check what Blacephalon set is, because because at this point his Blacephalon can be Specs, Scarf, or hell, it could be Orb. It could also be Sash. So this is the key moment, and that helped me in the game. Lauren admitted that he misplayed that. He could have sacked Blacephalon, and he would have had Moon Shao do more damage. So this was a bit of a misplay that cost him. And Blacephalon gets the Beast Boost, but because it was faster than 381, I know it's Scarf. And at that point, one clean knockoff, and I barely get away from this. So GG Lauren, that was a very challenging match that I did not anticipate to recover from. And And yeah, that was week 6.